Hi everyone, welcome to the Subsocial live stream, and we are participating in this hackathon called
Hi
Polkadot
everyone,
Hackathon.
welcome to the Subsocial live.
Okay, so we will be waiting for a few more seconds so that everyone can join. The session is about how you can build the next generation social media with Subsocial. So you might already know that social media has to be changed. It has to be decentralized. And Subsocial brings up this opportunity to you as a developer to create next generation decentralized social media. So we are participating in this hackathon called Polkadot North America Edition Hackathon of 2022. And you are invited to build on technology, create awesome projects, and get eligible for awesome bounties. So we have a few challenges which we all be announcing today, and we will be there to support you while you build some awesome dapps on Subsocial. So let's wait for 2-3 more minutes and wait for everyone to join. And after that, we are going to get started about how you can build decentralized social finance products with Subsocial. I am Tushar Oja, DevX at Subsocial, and with me, Vlad P is also going to be here, who is a blockchain developer at Subsocial. So we will be covering all your questions and queries at the same time in this session. So let's wait for a few minutes. I think it's the best time for us to start, and let's begin with building decentralized social finance app with Subsocial. So now, before talking about how you can build that, first you should be aware what Subsocial is. So about Subsocial is a uniquely positioned blockchain custom built for social networking that is a part of rapidly growing Dot Sum ecosystem. So imagine there is a separate blockchain which gives you all the functionalities you need to build a decentralized social dApp. And the special part about Subsocial is that all the features, like it has a serverless timeline, it has the moderation features, it has roles and permissions right on the blockchain. So you can focus on building the front end and the application side of your project, and rest of the blockchain part, how things work and integrate, would be done by us. You don't even need to have a smart contract to create a social dApp. You can just use a JS SDK to do all the on-chain interactions with your front end. So you can focus on building your product and your customers while the blockchain will be taken care by us. So that's the idea of Subsocial. Now let's see some important announcements. We have $5,000 plus in prizes, and I'm going to talk about the challenges for which you have to build to gain these prizes and earn some money. But first, let's understand that what are the current problems we are facing with the centralized social media. So the centralized social media, which you can see on the screen, are censored. There are server down issues. You create content for the on those platforms, but you don't own that content. uh, there's a huge cut in monetization, so whatever money you make out of these is being a big chunk of that have been taken by these platforms. There are privacy concerns, there are advertisements run on your content, and someone else is making money out of it. So there are a lot of issues with the centralized social media today. And with Subsocial, we can solve all these problems. So five problems, one solution. That is Subsocial. Now, basically, let's see some example. In Russia, Facebook and Instagram were banned, and people don't know which social media to use now. And it could be your social media if you build a decentralized app with Subsocial. Uh, Twitter suspended Trump's account because he was speaking about something else. There are also news that Facebook promotes hate speech. Some whistleblower on Facebook leaked this news. So there are a lot of things going wrong with the centralized social media, and all these can be rectified with Subsocial. So these are the core features. We have a serverless public timeline. So the classic social timeline, but you can put an entire app on IPFS, that is interplanetary file system. It's a decentralized storage for your files, and you can remove the needs of a centralized host. It's like AWS or any other. So you can use IPFS while building your dApp on Subsocial. There are moderation on these decentralized. There are moderation on the centralized platforms, but with Subsocial, you can build censorship resistant at the chain level. No one can remove your content from the chain. It's That's the beauty of the blockchain, and that's the beauty of Subsocial. You can set roles and permission, who can basically write content on your space, who can basically write blog on your behalf, and things like that could be done. And all these functionalities are on the chain. And their user governance, we have a treasury for supporting all the projects which are built on top of Subsocial. We have content creation rewards and a lot of features being built, which I'm going to demonstrate right in this session in a few minutes. So before moving forward, it's important for us to understand the Subsocial architecture and see where you as a developer can stand and build for Subsocial. So this is the moreover an architecture of Subsocial. The the bottommost layer is substrate chain, which we are using. So blockchain of Subsocial is a substrate based chain which has all the functions and all the features necessary, like ownership, moderation, posts, roles, follows, spaces, permissions, and much more. And this can be invoked through RPC functions right on the chain. Then we have the IPFS layer where all your content, for example, you posted on Subsocial or any dApp on Subsocial, then your title, the description, any links you have attached, any image files, and everything would be on a decentralized storage rather than being on a centralized storages like Google Cloud or AWS. So that's the layer of IPFS, and on top of that, which interests you as a developer, is our Subsocial JS SDK. So you don't need to make RPC calls directly to the blockchain, but you can use a JS SDK to interact with some JavaScript functions to gain the same results. So on the application layer, you are building your dApp. So you will be building your front end in React, Angular, Vue, and all of these frameworks. You might be using TypeScript, you might be using Next.js, and you might be using some wallet extension. So after like using these technologies, you will be interacting with the Subsocial JS SDK, which is right below it, and the JS SDK will be interacting with the IPFS and the custom palette Subsocial. So these all things bring together up the beauty of making a decentralized social dApp. Now, let's move forward with an example app which we already have at app.subsocial.network. So it's basically a web app where a lot of people have been posting some content, and it's built on top of the same technology. Even you are free to create a similar or even better product than us, because this web app we have created for you to see what could be done. So you are open to make even better products than this. And let's see what it looks like in real life. Give me a minute to share my screen and walk you through with the Subsocial network SDK, Subsocial network website, the web app. Give me a minute, please. Meanwhile, feel free to ask your questions in the comments. I would love to answer in between as well. But we also have a AMA session at the end of this session, so you can ask your questions there, and also you can post comments on the channel if you have any queries. So you can see this DApp I have at subsocial.network. So this is the homepage of this DApp. It is built using the Subsocial JS SDK. Right on the top right corner, you are able to see all your addresses which you have from the Polkadot JS extension like this. And you would be able to see your balance here, which is of our solo chain balance. And you can see my following the pages or the accounts I'm following to. So we have all the features like follow, unfollow, to spaces, to accounts, profiles on our JS SDK and on our chain. So all these things you see, all the actions you are performing are on chain. So now I'm going to show you about spaces. So you can understand spaces is a collection of posts, a collection of people. So what you do, you create some content, and you can specify a particular type of content here. For example, there is a group. You can think of it as a Google Circles or a Facebook group. So we have Subsocial group, or you can call it as space, and we have a name of it, a title, and a description what it is, and you can learn more about it, some tags related to it, and you can see people can follow to these spaces. There are more than 2,000 followers of the space here, and you can see the list of all the profiles here. And you can also specify some editor roles to a few people whom you want to give access of posting content. So Young Beef is posting content for us on this space. So there are more than 98 posts. So we have a space, and in that space we can create multiple posts. So these posts, it's good to have basically a post related to that particular space, so that people know what to expect inside the space. So we post about different features we are working on, and we have added to our Subsocial projects and the web app. So in this web app, in this post, we have demonstrated about a new feature, a new improved text editor for faster posting we have added on our front end of this web app. And we gave some images, and everything on this, what you see, is stored on IPFS, on a decentralized file storage, and on our blockchain. So that's why it is censorship resistant. I cannot bring this down, neither you. So that's the potential of making decentralized apps. um, all the content you can put it in markdown format, JSON format, or any other format you prefer, since it's going to be stored on the IPFS. There are features like upvote and downvote. So like you have like and unlike features on different social medias, and in this video as well you have a button to like this video, which I'm sure you're going to do. And there's also a feature to dislike the video, which even if you do doesn't matter, because YouTube just technically removed that same count. But with Subsocial, you cannot do that. It's censorship resistant. You are free to follow what you want to add features like. There is a button to donate, and when I click on it, when I set an amount and when I choose a currency, all the money which I donate get transferred to Young Beef. There is no cut in between. There are comments and replies. So these are called reactions, and these are called replies or comments. So comments are essentially a post, but it just linked to some other post, so that it forms a comment. So there are different types of post. A normal post which you see like this, a shared post in which if I want to share this post to my profile, then I can just retweet kind of thing. And there is the last thing is reply, and that is also a type of post which is attached to another post, so that I know that it's a reply, it's not a normal or a regular post. So these are the features. We have follow and unfollow feature as well. You can follow to people whom you want to follow, and a lot of things could be done. So that was a quick walkthrough about what are the features of Subsocial, uh, why it is different from any other chain. Like the benefit of being on a substrate chain is that we are able to add free call palette on this chain. So what that does, people, you can allow your users to stake some sub tokens and get free transactions. That means you don't need to pay for doing some blockchain transaction, which makes this experience seamlessly smooth. So all these things could be done only because of we are on a substrate based chain, and we can explore these potentials which are not possible with the Ethereum or Ethereum layer 2 solutions. So that's the potential, and you are free to build some cool dapps using these same structures we have. Now I'm going to demonstrate you about these structures again and our JS SDK. So we are here back on our PPT. Let's move forward with what we have next, the content structure. So as I told you before, this is the generic content structure we have. We have a post, we have a space in that there could be multiple posts, repost, and replies. These are all are a different variant of a post. And in that we have reactions. So reactions are like upward, downward, and these things. Um, so now let's see what data is being stored on the blockchain and what part of the data is being stored on the IPFS. So on blockchain, we store all the transactions, all the hashes that are required for a cryptographic proof that you created something or you posted something. And we have the content IDs. So content IDs are essentially the small text or the ID which is mapping to some address on IPFS or on any other decentralized storage option. And we have scores of different spaces and things like that. We have all the reactions are being stored on the blockchain, and a few more things are being stored right on the blockchain, like permissions and things like that. And other things like the content of a space, for example, the what bio you have added to your profile, what's the content of your post, like you have added markdown, you have added some JSON, you have added some images and things like that, what reply you have added. So that particular text, it could be very long. So depending on that, it's being stored on a decentralized storage. And we have a profiles option where you can add a bio to your profile, you can add a name, image, and things like that. So it's really good if you do a social profile on us. You can do by going to sub.id or app.subsocial.network, whichever you like. Now I think it's a good time if I walk you through with our official website, where you will be able to know a lot of details about Subsocial and how you can build on it. But before that, since you all have been waiting about the bounties and the prize announcements, so let's do it. It's the time. We have coming up with 4 challenges, which you can see in detail on github.com/dappforce. That's the parent organization /subsocial bounties. So this is the URL. You will get this URL in the description of this session. Um, there are 4 challenges which we would like you to build. So the first one is Instagram like DApp for NFTs. That means we are asking you to build basically DApp, which is like a decentralized Instagram, where you can authenticate and post your NFTs, and people can basically see and like those NFTs and say something about those NFTs. Like what we have on Instagram, we post some images, videos, and things like that, and people are able to react on it. We'll get some content. You can implement a bio feature, which is a good to have, and also a follow and unfollow functionality. So these are the extra thing, and the prize is up to $3,000 for this particular challenge. So make your team on to the Discord and start building right now. You have enough time, and we are here to support you. The next challenge we have is an audio video sharing tab. So we are asking you to create a decentralized short form audio video tab on Subsocial. So it should have features like posting audio video clips with captions, links, likes, unlikes features, follow, unfollow, and a few more features which you can do out of your curiosity. And if you build a mobile app, then it's a surplus We would love to see a mobile app built on top of Subsocial, and the same price amount is here of $3,000. So feel free to build on this and create some awesome mobile app. We have some templates ready for you. You can use our SDK on React Native to build a mobile app. And if you face any questions, or if you face any issues, something is not working for you with our SDK or something like that, join our Discord and ask your questions. We would love to answer as soon as possible. The next two challenges is substrate stack exchange. So we have stack exchange already, but we want a substrate specifically decentralized stack exchange where people will be able to post queries and get responses of those queries on the chain. You can create an algorithm to have basically a reputation of users on the dApp. You can use the profiles they create on Subsocial. So that's the benefit. People, all the dApps built on top of Subsocial can use the same profile a person creates on SubID or your dApp or anywhere else. So you can do those things. You can basically add donation features or reward feature in which people would be able to donate some dot samar tokens like dot ksm or sub. And the price amount for this particular challenge is $3,000 as well. So feel free to build this stack exchange app. I would love to see. This is one of my favorite challenge or the bounty, I would say. And if you need any support, we are here. The next one we have is posting to and from Medium, Substack, and Twitter. So like we suggest you to create a dApp where a user can basically enter a URL of a post on Medium, Substack, or Twitter, and then the dApp parses the post. It just basically gets all the content of that post from that URL and create a new post on Subsocial. So you just paste a Medium link, and from that Medium link you are able to get all the content and post it on Subsocial. Think of it as a backing up tool where users can back up their post from a centralized media to a decentralized media. So, like a lot of people are still using these centralized blogging platforms Twitter for microblogging or Medium for creating some long form blogs, but these all are centralized. You never know when your content goes away. So what you can do, we are asking you to create a dApp where you just enter a URL and all the content you have posted on Medium and on these sites get parsed onto a Subsocial post, which stays there forever. So these are all the four challenges. We would love to see what you build. Now let's talk about some of the learning resources which we would love to offer. So we have templates ready. So you can just directly use a React Vue or Angular template and clone it and start adding features according to your needs. You can use a quick reference guide. So with the quick reference guide, you can just copy paste some code snippets and just try those out. You don't need to read a lot of material to just find that right script that works for you. So we have curated a cheat sheet basically. We have a developer FAQ section where you can get answers to the frequently asked questions related to developer. That do I need to know Rust? Of course, you don't need to know Rust because you are using our JS SDK. There are also deep guides on our SDK methods, that how things work, what are different features, what are the options to fetch a profile, like can I fetch a Subsocial like space by their handle or by their ID, and what are these options. So we have deep guides on this. We have a testnet faucet. So we have a testnet and we have faucet for that on our Discord. The link to that Discord channel is also in the description of this lecture. And we have JS SDK API reference guide where you will be able to see all the methods we have created for you to use and build on top of Subsocial. And even if you are new to development, you don't have any past experience, we have curated a few resources and the guides or the prerequisite for building on top of Subsocial and building your futuristic idea of a social media. So you can follow that prerequisite guide and go through those resources, go through those topics to get started building, and come back to this hackathon lecture and sessions and start building. So this is not just for a hackathon, but it's a long sprint. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So just keep on building. Now, I guess it's the good time if I show you the official website of Subsocial, because we have been talking a lot, but we haven't seen in action. So let's see. So this is what Subsocial website look like. It's subsocial.network. I am posting a comment here so that you can also see. This is the website name, and you can see clearly that it says decentralized social finance. So you're able to build censorship resistant social media with Subsocial. So there are like a brief description about all the features we are able to provide, projects that are built on top of Subsocial. You can join a community with all the links to Twitter, blog, Telegram, YouTube channel, Discord, GitHub, and everything. Now, the our favorite section is this build platform section. Since you will be building dapps on Subsocial, this is where you are going to live. So you can read a light paper anytime you want. So these are the core features we have. We are on a Polkadot ecosystem that has more than 1,000 transactions per second. You can do. You can monetize from day one. You can add features like tipping, ads, social tokens, and things like that. You can connect to our SDK within a second. So you just copy this code snippet and you are connected to Subsocial blockchain. That's how simple it is. Like the power of a blockchain with simplicity of code. That's our motto. And you can see I am able to fetch a particular space with its ID in just 10 lines of code. uh, we have like SDK and template dapps. So you can go to the documentation web page and a JS SDK on GitHub, and there are different templates ready for you to use. For example, if you're a React developer, you love React, you can use this React template to see some basic structures and functions and layouts and Redux, everything set up for you already there. So you just focus on adding features and customizing it to your need. It's open source, and we would love to see what you are going to build with this. There are a few projects which are already built on top of Subsocial, and if you have a disruptive idea, then just get in touch with us. We would love to hear that, and we would love to support you. We also have a reward mechanism. So if you are basically building on top of Subsocial, you have a strong team and you have a strong goal to build, you can fill this form and get connected with us. We would love to give you some grants and support as much as we can do. So explaining all these things. Now let's see the documentation. So on this documentation, you can see the SDK introduction, how you can install, what are the very basics or different types of APIs available, what is IPFS. We have this quick reference guide where you can just basically copy all these code snippets, configurations to fetch or write some data on the blockchain directly here and just write it on your projects. We also have a playground where you can just copy paste these code snippets and try this out before creating your project, so that you will have you have all the knowledge of different methods available and different tools available to build your dApp. There are deep guides about profiles and different functions available and things like that. So this is a complete point for you to gather all the information for building on top of Subsocial. Now let's get back to the presentation and see what next we can have. So we are already done with learning resources. Now let's move forward with the support part. So in the support section, we basically have two support channels. One is on our Discord. It's /devs channel. I'm there all the time. You can just ping me there, ask your questions, discuss about ideas, discuss about your team, what are your plans, if you need any support from us. We also have a Telegram channel for devs. So on the Telegram channel, you can just directly message us. So we are really much active on that, and we would love to see what you are building. You can also share your achievements and your questions and everything which you would like to about Subsocial. And all the links to these channels and everything shown in this lecture are right in the comment section of this lecture. And do ask your questions now, because we have the AMA session, and so you can ask front end, DevX, or anything like that questions up here. So, yeah, go ahead. It's your time now. Okay, looks like we don't have much questions right now. You can anytime connect with me on Twitter, and if you want to do some like networking, or if you want to do some partnerships, and we also have the Subsocial official Twitter handle, which I'm going to share with you right now, which you can basically go and try out. You will also get the link in the description for that. And I'm happy to connect with you all today in this session. It was really amazing. And if you have any queries, feel free to ask on our channels. I already mentioned Discord and Telegram. And we will be also hosting another session uh, on next Saturday, which will be covering in which we will be covering the topics like how you can build Twitter or a Facebook tab on Subsocial. So that would be a hands-on coding session. So feel free to ask your questions. Meanwhile, throughout the week, we are here on our Telegram and Discord channels. Uh, so yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks for joining in. It was happy to host this session and happy building on top of Subsocial. Let's do this. Bye.